In this video, we're going to look at solving linear equations. The idea is to try to find the value of x that makes the statement true. In our first example, we're going to look at trying to find the value of x when 6x plus 7 equals 25. When you're solving a linear equation, you want to try to get the x variable isolated on one side of the equation. You're allowed to use adding and subtracting to move terms from one side of an equation to another. For example, to get the x term by itself, we need to remove this 7. We can do that by subtracting. 7 minus 7 equals 0. But if you subtract on one side of the equation, you have to subtract the same amount on the other side. That leaves us with 6x equals 25 minus 7 is 18. Once you've isolated your x term, then you can use multiplying or dividing to completely solve for your x term. Now, since this 6x is 6 times x, we can remove 6 through division. $18 divided by 6 is how much? That's right, 3. You don't have to check these, but you can if you like. In the original problem, we had 6x plus 7 equals 25. Six x plus 7. We're not sure, so I'm going to put a question mark because we're not absolutely sure yet. Equals 25. Well, 6 times 3 is 18. Plus 7. That does in fact equal 25. So that just tells us that 3 is the correct answer. Let's solve another linear equation. 5x plus 6 is equal to 8 minus 4x. In this equation, there are x variable terms on each side of the equation, 5x and negative 4x. There are also constant terms on each side, the 6 and the 8. Using adding or subtracting, you can move the variable terms to one side of the equation and the constant terms to the other side. For example, it's totally fine to add 4x's to each side of this equation. As long as you do the same thing to both sides, it's okay. This collects all the x terms to one side. Whichever side you put your variable terms on, the constant terms should go to the other side. We can do that by subtracting 6. Once you've separated your variable term from your constant term, then multiplying or dividing is your last step. You can divide by 9. And that gives us x equals 2/9. If you want to check this one, replace the x's in the original problem with 2/9. Make the calculations, and each side should come out to the same number. Again, you're not required to check your answers, but sometimes it's a good idea just to do it. Let's look at an example involving decimal points. If you happen to see a set of parentheses show up in your problem, then you can use what's called the distributive property to remove them. Now, the distributive property, you take whatever is outside your parentheses and you multiply it with each term inside the parentheses. So we're going to have 0.60x 0.40 times 100 minus 0.40 times x. That's all still equal to 50. Okay, now something that you have to be very clear with in this problem, we have two x terms, but they're on the same side. That term and that term are both on the left side of the equation. If that's the case, then you combine like terms. For this one, it's 0.60x minus 0.40x. You don't do opposites if they're on the same side of the equation. You make a direct calculation. Again, that's if they're on the same side. When you start moving terms from one side to the other, that's where you go opposite. Divide both sides by 0.20. And we get x equals 50. If you wanted to do a quick check to see if this is accurate, replace the x's in the original problem, and there's a couple of places for them with 50. And this is just an optional check. I'm going to put a question mark because, again, we're checking. We're pretty sure that 50 is the right answer, but you never know. All right, so we have 0.60 times 50. That gives us 30. So 50 there. 50 times 0.40. That's 20. So we get 30 plus 20, which does in fact equal 50. So 50 is a good answer. And to keep the video brief, let's look at one more example. This one will involve fractions. We have 2x over 5 plus 5x equals 22 over 15. An approach used quite often on equations containing fractions is to multiply every term in the equation by what's called a least common denominator. So let's think of a number that's evenly divisible by 5 and 15. If you think 30, that's fine. 30 is divisible by 5 and 15, and it's totally appropriate to multiply all your terms by 30. In this one, I'm going to use 15 just because it also is divisible by 5 and 15 evenly, and it's just smaller than 30. But again, as long as the number you pick is evenly divisible by all of your denominators, then you're okay. Alright, so I'm going to multiply everything by 15. Now let's go through one term at a time. 5 goes into 15 3 times 2x 15 times 5x 15 goes into 15 once times 22. Very good. 6x plus 75x, they're on the same side. Just do one common calculation, combining like terms. 6x plus 75x equals 81x. And that's still equal to 22. Since the x term has been separated from the constant term, you can now use division to isolate x fully. Oops, excuse me. I'm pretty sure that 22 over 81 is as reduced as that one's going to get. If you were to check the original problem, you would find that 22 over 81 is correct.